Welcome to Marketplace with Charles, where dreams are turned into reality. Marketplace is brought to you by Art of Skincare. Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you, as well as Kuisa Lodge, situated in the deep heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve, where you sleep, dream, and wake up with a big five around you. If tranquility is what you are looking for, then Kuisa Lodge is the place to be. I am Charles Ngobeni. On today's program, we meet a pastor dedicated to fight against substance abuse, but not only through prayer, by action as well. Substance abuse has been cited as the growing problem in South Africa, with about 15% of the population reported to have been involved in one form or another of drug abuse. According to Parent24.com, 80% of the male youth deaths in South Africa are alcohol-related, and drug consumption is twice the world norm. With such overwhelming statistics, what kind of a society can we say that we are building? What is the economic outlook of our country in which 15 out of every 100 people are on the form of a drug abuse? My guest today will give us an idea of what fighting this war with a demon that threatens not only human lives, but also the survival of our nation is like. Help me welcome Reverend Makhado with me in your home, in your hotel room, or wherever you may be watching this episode from. Rev Makhado, welcome to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you very much, Charles, and the viewers. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. If I may start to say something, I'm coming from Phila Life Hope Center. That is registered with social development. We are licensed to operate in the space of substance abuse. What is happening is we are situated in Kempton Park and Tembisa. We have got a team that is all out in terms of trying to get our young people that are trapped in substance abuse. You will recall that in every taxi rank in South Africa, we've got kids that are trapped in substance abuse. Most of them, they are young people at the age of 14 to 21. You could see that future is going down the drain. So as an organization, we see it necessary that we should collaborate with the department, taxi associations, with every stakeholder that will be able to play a role so that we can try to take them out from the streets. If you can check Charles, you'll realize that most young people that are trapped in substance abuse, most of their parents, they go to work bleeding from within because they don't have children anymore at home. Young people, they've abandoned their homes. They have made their homes their illegal homes in the towns. You could just check in Kempton Park, in Johannesburg, in Pretoria, all over there are young people that are trapped in substance abuse. So you'll recall, if I were to give an example, when a child is born at the early stage, sisters, you will recall that they will do something we call baby showers. And during that space, during those baby showers, everybody is anticipating to say, the child will be born, and this child perhaps could be the lawyer, it could be the manager for a company, it could be this and that, it could be a doctor, but only to find that 14 years down the line, there is a guru that is waiting for the child. And that guru, it's none the less than drugs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that is the space that we are operating in.
Look, you are legally ordained pastor. Why don't you just resolve into prayer and pray this thing away?
Thank you, Charles. You will recall that it is written in the Bible that faith without works is dead. The best way is to go out and try by all means and collaborate with other stakeholders to bring them on board to say, we want our young people to come out of substance abuse.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Pastor Makhado, or Reverend Makhado, tell me, the issue that we're tackling today, substance abuse, caused our economy so much. And most of the people who could have been something, they are not. Why is it? What makes you, or what gives you the edge? What makes you to tackle this great phenomenon?
Thank you, Charles, for that good question. As I've indicated it before, young people are the cream of the society.
Yeah.
So you don't have young people, you don't have a vibrant economy. You will also recall that the other thing that has inspired us a lot to get into this space is after Teen Challenge South Africa came to our space in Tembisa under Dr. Nomdu. And then they were making a research only to find that we have got 360,000 kids or young people that are trapped in the same scourge. So you realize that that number is quite overwhelming. So imagine if me and you, we're sitting down, we're not doing anything about this issue. Are we not going to be like South Korea, wherein they are running short of young people because they are trapped in substance abuse and other activities that are the ills of society? So we have to invade the space because we realize that we are losing young people. For an example, our president has just stated not long that they are building a university in the city of Ekurhuleni. Yeah. But the question will be, young people are not available. Who is going to attend the university? Because they are trapped in substance abuse. Those young people that we need them to go to the university to learn and acquire more knowledge, they are not in the good space. So the other thing that government is not aware of, they are not taking more statistics in terms of really engaging even communities to see how many young people have abandoned their homes. Because young people are not at home anymore these days, especially the male seed. The male seed is not at home.
You have interacted with a lot of these young kids. From your experience, what do you think is the root cause? What is it that drives these kids into drugs?
There are a number of factors that drive the kids into drugs. Number one would say there is peer pressure. Some young people, they would admire others as their role models, only to find that they are admiring wrong role models. Apart from peer pressure, some young people, they are coming from dysfunctional families, wherein you find that perhaps there is no father figure at home, and young people are trapped into that space. And the other thing that is problematic is that sometimes you can grow your child very well at home, but when he's interacting with other kids and other young people outside, you find that they will be asking him a question, can't you try this substance abuse? And it becomes a problem. Because once you get in there, it is very difficult to come out.
If you look into these youth that are trapped into substance abuse, what picture of a nation that we're building do you see?
The picture that I see the nation that is more or less than South Korea, wherein we are informed that there is a very less number of young people. You begin to realize that we are not coming together as different stakeholders to handle the problem that we have at hand. We are entertaining a lot of things that are not not quite important. Like, for instance, our children, at some stage we give them everything and we fail to guide them towards how to live the right way, that they mustn't engage into activities of substance abuse. Because this is a problem that if we leave it as a country, I tell you, we are going to a space where we won't like it, all of us.
You know what? After all this, I think we need to take a break. What do you think?
I think so.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, viewers out there, we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome to Marketplace with Charles. I am still sitting here with Reverend Makhado. He's not only the ordinary reverend, but he's the reverend who's doing something with the problems that our nation currently faces: substance abuse. Not only through prayer, but through actions. Well, Reverend, we were still discussing this topic. I need to know from you, what mode of operation do you use in tackling the problem?
I will explain it in 3 spheres.
Yeah.
We go to high schools as a group, and then there are sessions that are different that we render in each school. And it's so surprising, Charles, that in most schools, we no longer go like asking for an invitation. They are hardly looking for us so that we can come and assist. So the other thing that we do, we go to a place called hotspots. Hotspots is where most of gangsterism are smoking. We invade their space, not in terms of judging what they are doing, but when on our arrival, we come with programs that we try to indicate how far they can be able to come out of the situation in which they are in. And at some stage, you find yourself in a space wherein you inhale secondary smoking because you are in that space. Yeah. But you can't say, I can't be able to assist them. So that is the space that we find ourselves trying to assist these young people that are trapped in substance abuse. Yeah, so those are the models that we have. But the other thing that we also do is that the Department of Social Development, both regional and provincial, they are supporting us big time as an organization. The only thing that I always find it is a challenging is that they should be able to loosen their regulations in terms of other NGOs to make applications for their licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it becomes easy. Because remember, Charles, we need as many NGOs as possible so that we can be able to work against the problem that is at hand.
You are talking about loosening these laws, these regulations.
Exactly.
How long did it take you to get a license, and how difficult was it?
Thank you very much for that. Is a very important question, Charles. We made an application for almost over 20 months. It was not supposed to be like that. The department had a problem that they were renovating some buildings in Johannesburg, so there has been some delays. But apart from that, they haven't been putting much efforts as we've been expecting. So yes, it took us plus minus 20 months for us to register. I'm very much concerned, Charles, that it is quite important, though the reason for the department to make strict laws is that they are trying also to regulate issues of corruption, that I also understand.
Let's talk of the work that you're doing. What success rate have you seen so far? Because if for instance, myself as a business person, I want to support you, I need to know that this thing really works. Are you just doing it for the sake of doing it so that we can say, hey, here's Makhado, they are doing it? Or is there any tangible success that you can show to us?
Thank you, Charles, for that question. It's also very important. But before I answer that question, let me come it this way. It is the responsibility of government and different stakeholders to assist our government that we should have many rehab centers. Because remember, as much as we are working, if we don't have healthy rehab centers, then we still gonna have a problem. It doesn't matter how far our organization can work with other organizations. Yeah. So that is the departing point. So that government should see it as a need and as a priority to make sure that we have got as many healthy rehab centers as possible. So now, coming to your question that you've asked me, we have got so many tangibilities of results. Let me just give you some few examples. Not long, in 2017, we took some young people to Cape Town for rehab. You know, Dr. Nomdu in Cape Town involved himself to say he will assist with payments and so on, because some other rehabs that are around here, young people, when they come, they go there, at some stage they relapse. And you ask yourself a question, how do you relapse when you are coming from a government rehab? So now, what we do with, as an organization, we have got tangibilities of results that we have in terms of pointing at, we call them learners. We don't call them nyaupes. We call them learners or students.
Yeah.
So you realize that we have got so many tangibilities of results in terms of pointing at those that are out completely. I would rate it to say, out of 10, we might have 4 or 3 that are out. And to me, it's not really bad. Because if we had parents that were involved and other stakeholders that are also involved, we're going to have better results. Perhaps 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. So we really need support in terms of different space of business sectors to understand what we do.
You know what I appreciate with your work is that even after you were labeled a pastor of Nyaupes,
I like that one.
you still went on, carried on, despite all the negativism, especially from the church.
Exactly, Charles. It's a space that most pastors, they are quite very afraid to enter to. But the biblical narrative, it indicates to us who is your neighbor.
Yeah.
And that is what Christ has indicated when he was explaining about a man who had a problem going to Jericho, from Jerusalem to Jericho. So he would explain as he complete the statement, who is your neighbor. So now, if we as servants of God are not invading the space, the question should be, who must invade the space? Because if Christ cannot be seen where there is too much darkness, therefore it means our darkness is going to be too much.
Let's look into the role of the family. What do you think the role of the family should be in fighting this scourge? Well, because some of the things, they start at home.
Thank you, Charles. You see, we have come to a point where it is no longer a matter of we like one another or not.
Yeah.
I'm coming to that point of a family. We need to collaborate even if we may not like one another. Because the problem that we have, it looks to be bigger than in our shoulders. So now, in a family setup, we need to establish a very strong system that encourages our young people not to indulge into these activities. If my child, for instance, is starting to engage in these activities, let me be able to engage another family member to say, I've got a challenge of this nature. So now most parents, because they come to a point wherein they get to be so much embarrassed when their children are trapped into substance abuse, they hide the problem until the problem will speak itself that you can't hide me anymore.
But in most cases, we are not educated, we don't even see these signs and symptoms.
Exactly.
What will be the signs and symptoms to look for?
In 1998, I started an organization called Monitoring Learners Performance Association.
Yes.
In essence, it remains the responsibility of the parent to monitor the child. For instance, Charles, when the child comes back from school, can you check the bag, the school bag? Because you begin to find some symptoms in the school bag there. Either you can get a small knife there, you can get some small cigarette, sometimes you can get some condoms, all these funny things.
Or a screwdriver when your child is not a mechanic.
You understand? So now, it is better for you as a parent, sometimes check those things. You begin to realize that the more you are monitoring your child's performance, whether you are doing homework, whether you are checking for him or her, you are able to identify certain things that are not in place. And then you are able to address them as early as possible.
Later on, you spoke about relapsing. What will you say are the major causes of relapsing?
As I said, government should be able to establish as many rehab centers as possible that are healthy. Because look here, Charles, if a child is clean and he's got a certificate that I'm clean from drugs, and then when he comes back, he goes back to the very same society that are the same people that are smoking, same friends, what would you expect? You must expect relapsing. And the other thing that is quite critical, let us assist our government instead of criticizing them in terms of, sometimes we must forget about our politics because we've got a very serious problem of an African child. So children are relapsing because we don't have a strong system that is in place. Sometimes you are clean from drugs, but the other challenge is you don't have a job. So what do? You understand? So you go back. So that's why we are saying, we are also encouraging companies to say, some learners that are clean, that are certified to be clean, we will encourage some other companies to absorb them, to say, let's take these young people and train them for work so that they can also have a better future. Remember, the very same young people, they are qualified to go and vote. They are qualified to be citizens of the country. They are as human as everybody.
Look, Reverend Makhado, you are fighting a big elephant here, and you can't handle this alone. What sort of a help or assistance, if any, that you'll ask for? If in case there's a viewer out there who says, no, I need to partner with you, I need to assist you, what sort of a help will you be looking for?
Thank you very much, Charles. It's a very good question. Then let me answer it by giving a small background. You see, it's a question of when we need resources, but I want to answer it this way. Before we get the resources that we need, it is important for government to assist these other NGOs by loosening where it's so intact for them to register and to license. So now we as an organization, we are in a space where we need resources in the form of money. Ekurhuleni municipalities, last year, 2019, they've assisted us with some form of grant in aid money, and it helps us to acquire some other forms of, to put our office in order. So we are also engaging, we also want to engage any company or any private sector that will see a need to invest something to an African child.
If someone out there wants to engage with you, where do they get hold of Reverend Ngobeni Makhado?
So we are in Kempton Park, we are also in Tembisa, 464 Spoonbill, Lifateng Tembisa, that's where we are, together with Apostle D.T. Muleya and Sister Nova Welding. They are really doing a very big job.
You heard it. Kempton Park is a gateway. Let's help Reverend Makhado stop this problem. Let's assist him. Unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. That's all the time we had for today. I am Charles Ngobeni signing off on Marketplace. You can get hold of me on www.charlesngobeni.com, Instagram Charles_Ngobeni. You can go on Facebook and like me. Let's interact. Let's have fun. Let's help each other. Let's build a new South Africa. God bless you. See you next time.
Join Marketplace with Charles on an 11-day tour of the Holy Land. Take the route Israel traveled to the Promised Land. Cross over the Red Sea and float on the Dead Seas, the lowest point on earth with amazing healing properties. Experience the vibe of Jericho and cruise on the Sea of Galilee to Capernaum, the hometown of Jesus. Visit the pools of Bethesda, Nazareth, Bethlehem, and many more. Walk where Jesus walked and see the Bible come alive. If beautiful memories and an enriched spirit is what you are looking for, then join us in taking Jesus to the marketplace. For more information, call us on +27 72 123 0078 or email israel@artofskincare.co.za.